Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about anger in particular. So if you're interested in that kind of content, stay tuned. A lot of people have this perception of anger and what anger is. People see angry people as like horrible people to be around. That is correct. They are horrible people to be around. Who wants to be around someone who has this low, damp, negative energy all the time? But if you know someone who suffers from anger issues, or if you are someone who suffers from anger issues yourself, I understand it. If anyone is, I'm going to understand it because I suffered from anger issues for a very long time. It was one of the most difficult things for me to get rid of. I'm going to be talking about all the different kinds of things that led me into a state of anger, different kinds of stuff that I was able to do to work on it, and things that I did try that haven't worked with me in particular, but it doesn't mean it can't work for you. So some of the stuff that I would like to mention first are the things that could have possibly led me into a state of anger. So really take these things into consideration, think about it deeply, see if it's something that you can correlate to it, or if you think that someone around you can correlate with these specific things. The number one thing I'm going to mention is genetics. I have a lot of family members that suffer from anger issues on my father's side. They have major explosive anger issues. They're not able to control it. It has maybe lost opportunities for some of them. It has gotten some of them in trouble. I think the thing that I notice most about it is like they are aware that they have anger issues, but they do not take responsibility for the reactions that they have. And that is something that usually happens with people of anger, that they feel like it's the outer environment that is always the problem. And what you need to come to the realization is that the problem stems from within you. So if you can understand that the problem stems from within you, then you are then able to take the steps necessary to work on it. What used to happen to me is I would leave the house, I get into the car, the music sucks, can't even catch a break there. I get into the car, I have this shitty music, and like, so that irritates me on its own. And I feel like, why can't the radio station even have like regular nice songs? Then I get to the next stage of road rage. Everyone doesn't know how to drive. Everyone tries to overtake me. This guy almost crashed me from the back. That's on its own. I think you can imagine how it can create issues. Then I'll go to the store and I'll be fighting with the people working there. Like, why are you talking to me in this way? Like, I just asked you a question. Why do you have to talk to me in that way? And then like all these different kinds of issues. And now it's hot and I'm sweating in the car, and the car broke down and all these different things. And then like I reached to a point where this was happening every day. I was having so many arguments with people when I go out, so many problems, that I just decided I'm not going to go out anymore. I turned into hermit mode. If my friends wanted to see me, they can come over. We can have a great time at the house. But that was as far as it was going to go, because every time I went out, it was a problem from the minute I entered the car until the minute I came home. There was always at least one thing to piss me off. But I want to like backpedal here and also explain what someone who deals with anger can deal with internally. I remember getting angry at a specific friend all the time. And what would happen is, we'd have an explosive fight. I was the one who was always exploding. And then one day my friend comes to me and she says, "The problem with you, Nadia, is you never apologize. You never apologize." When I am in a state of anger, I have no rational way of thinking. If I don't have a rational way of thinking, you're not going to get through to me. But what happens is when I calm down, which is when I'm by myself, when I came to this realization about myself, it was a long journey, but the beginning of the journey to start to understand that I need to work on myself. I did try previously to work on myself, and these are the different things that I tried. The first one that didn't work with me was counting to 10. The idea behind this is giving yourself around a 10-second break, and so counting to 10 and then continuing. One of them that helped, but took a long time of consistency to work, deep breathing. The reason why I say it took a while for it to work in consistency, because when your nervous system is in fight or flight mode, it's very difficult to get your breathing regulated. So it might take you a really long time to even do it when you are calm in order for it to work. So when you understand that it takes a while for it to work, it's like some medications. They tell you like, hey, sometimes the antidepressants don't work straight away. Your body needs to get used to it. It's the same thing with the breathing. You need to remind your body how to control the nervous system. And when you remind your body of how to do that, taking your deep breaths, then you can have the ability of when you get angry in the future to be able to control it. But this is something you need to do every day. To understand how to breathe correctly is imagining the breath going in circular mode. Oh, let me put my hands up like this, like in a circle. So you breathe in from your nose. It goes down to your chest, and I want you to like feel your chest expand when it goes down to your abdomen. And as you're breathing in, inhaling, your abdomen expands, and it comes out from your abdomen through your chest, and your chest and abdomen start to go inwards. And then you can let your breath come out your nose or mouth. It doesn't really matter. And you keep on doing this slowly. Look how long it takes for one breath. Ready? 10 seconds. So you can start it and try it with 5 seconds, and then you can work your way up to 10 seconds. Those are the main points that you need to know about anger. So people that have anger too are hurt people. You need to remember that hurt people hurt people. If you are hurt, you hurt others. Maybe you don't realize that you're hurt, but also anger stems from depression. A lot of people don't realize that. I'm not depressed, I'm angry. No, anger stems from depression. You have to understand the root cause of what makes you angry in order to have it under control. When you feel like, I'm angry because they're not respecting me, because they're being rude to me, because they think less of me. And then you have to understand, try to come to the conclusion of when was the first time or the first period you started to develop these anger issues. I actually can teach you and guide you through it if you're interested. Please DM me, email me. My email is attached to my YouTube, of how to come to the bottom of where your anger started to come from. Then you start to understand what makes you angry. But what you need to realize about others, and this is something that really helped me, is asking questions. I noticed a lot that when I would go to stores, I would argue with the people working there, and I noticed it was about feeling disrespected. What I did was I started to ask myself questions. When they respond like that, is it a them problem or is it a me problem? Why am I allowing their mood to disrupt my mood? If they're disrespectful, they are disrespectful. It has nothing to do with it. That's them. That's on them. That's a them problem. Those are the kinds of things that I had to come to conclusions of. But it wasn't like, snap your fingers, there we go. No, this took time. This took a fair amount of time for me to realize that there's hardcore wiring in my brain where the wire shoots up to got disrespected, need to flare up and get angry. I had to change that over and over and over and over again, where got disrespected, not my problem. The wire now has to change here. This anger, a wire makes me angry. I need to change it to this wire. That's a them problem, not a me problem. So those are the kinds of things that you need to work on. Removing yourself from the situation can help you a lot, because when you remove yourself from the situation, then you are able to regroup and really take your time to think about it. And if you are within a situation, then why are you keeping yourself in a negative environment? Remove yourself from it. You don't need to be there. If you need to be there, excuse yourself to the bathroom. Go take a quick walk, a breath of fresh air. Go splash some water in your face. Do something to change up that energy. So when you come back, your nervous system is no longer in flare mode. Remember, you're doing all these things for you. It doesn't feel good being wired up all the time and being angry all the time. It's not even good for your health. It affects your sleep. It affects your ability to do a great job at your work. It has so many effects. It can affect your relationships with families and friends. It can affect your relationship with your pets. It can affect so much. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? It doesn't matter. If they are disrespectful, they are disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful. They think it's okay to disrespect me. That's their problem. And that's where I think it's all about ego. You have to understand how ego affects you as a person. If it makes you angry, if it makes you blow up, if it makes you seclude yourself, if it makes you remove people from your life, ego is a huge problem. Anyway, everyone, that is my little 2 cents on anger. If you enjoyed this video, I would love to hear that in the comment section down below. Until next time.